Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be giving you a quick overview and review of Paranormal Detectives. This is a very unique game, and I wasn't sure what to think about it because we don't normally like your party cooperative type games, but I will say this one does a great job of, it's so unique that the components, just the theme, everything just draws you in, and it's actually quite a fun game. So basically, we played a 3-player game, obviously. You can play 2 players, but I think this would be more fun as a 3-player game. But it's in a 3-player game, one person plays as the ghost, and 2 play as the detectives, and up to 6 people can play. But the ghost, as in real life, if they're ghosts, they can't speak to you, but they can communicate in different ways. Ouija boards, ghost meters, moving objects, the ropes, there's tarot cards, the ghost has 3 interaction cards. It can use as clues where it can do the ropes in shapes, or it can use the ghost meter, or it can do like the talking board, which is a Ouija board. They have some where you can do it. I think it's the mirror or something where you mimic. You can't use words, but you kind of mime something out for 30 seconds.
3 seconds.
Or 3 seconds, sorry. And then there's another one where you make a sound. You can't say a word or anything, but you can make a sound of whatever question they're asking. You can give them a sound. And we don't want to spoil the game for anyone that might get it, so we're not going to tell you the actual story we got, because the nature of this game is you only use a story one time and then you toss it. And they do have an app. I thought this was pretty cool. Once you go through the stories, they have a free app where you can download any number of stories to use. So it's pretty cool that they have that, so you don't have to worry about once you run out of stories, well, we can't play it anymore. And they also did a great job because of the theme of the game. They do have some that are more for adults that include like drugs, sex, things like that you wouldn't want to play with kids. So they do have them clearly marked in the upper right corner, parental advisory. We just removed all those, so we didn't have to worry. And you're only playing with one. I was the ghost. I chose a story. They were the 2 detectives, and it's kind of cooperative in a way. It's cooperative in the sense there is a variant where you can be fully cooperative as the detectives, but they played against each other, which is the standard game. So basically, the winners can be the ghost and the detective that guessed it right. As the ghost, I want the detective to guess it because I want them to know how I was either murdered, how I died. It's not always murdered. It could be just you may have died accidentally. You may have someone may have caused your death, but they didn't mean to. So you're trying to convey all the who, why, where, how, and the weapon. So you're trying to convey those 5 things to the detectives and hope one of them can guess it through all of these tools. It's not as easy as it looks. And one of them I didn't even mention is they hold the pen in their hand and you draw with their hand, but the pen can never stop or leave the paper, just like in the ghost movies, how you see people, they're in a trance and the ghost is drawing for them.
Oh, you forgot the touch one.
Oh, yeah, and there's the touch one where you draw the word on their back. So most clues, all the detectives can see the answer, but in that particular one, only the person that asked the question can feel the answer on their back as you're drawing it. So
the way I look at it, it's preparing people for the afterlife. There is one. So you know some of the tricks.
But it's a very unique game. So in ours, I will give you a hint. I'm not going to tell you the story. It was very difficult because there really wasn't a typical murder weapon. The person fell, so the murder weapon was the ground, basically. That was the weapon. So it's not as obvious as you think in these. And then it's, I won't tell you who, what, when. I won't tell you all that stuff. But so in ours, the murder weapon was basically the street or the ground. So that was very hard to convey when they were honed in on the weapon. They would not ask it. Like, they used probably 60% of their clues about the weapon.
Well, it was just so confusing for us as why.
Yeah. I will say the best clue is the Ouija board.
Yeah.
They call it the talking board.
If you're good at scrambling words.
Because you don't give them the actual letters, but you have 5 indicators. You can give them a clue of the first 5 letters of the word of whatever they're asking. So if they ask, what is the weapon? As you can see here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and it's pointing to a set of letters. So the first letter is either an M or L or a C. The second letter is either a D, a R, or an H. So they go off that and hopefully they can figure out what word. And it's not always the entire word. It's just the first 5 letters. So the first one they asked was not the entire word, but I was hoping it gave them enough letters because it was kind of a unique word that if they figured it out, they would figure out what that clue was. I mean, Anthony did figure out street. He did figure out. So Quinn thought it was a ski slope. He was stuck on ski slope, but
you can't tell me this. This does not look like this looks like it's like a ramp, a ski slope, and this also got me confused. This is like a windmill.
Yeah, I could see how a lot of the clues, how it could be either or, honestly. Yeah. Because street and ski slope look very much the same, and they're very vague clues. I mean, they're very vague. So each character, you get a screen, and you get the cards, they call it indicator cards that match your character, and there's 7 of them in a 3-player game. In a 2-player game, you play with 2 sets. So you have 14 cards that you're playing with. So you just grab another set of 7 from a different character. And they have a screen just to hide their notes from the other player. So even though everything's out in the open, basically the clues, your notes, you might figure out something before the other person, like the unscrambling of the words, then they may not know it. So you have to choose one of those cards. You can only use them one time with the different type of clues that I can give you. You ask a yes or no question, or in this instance, you can ask where I can answer with a word, but I mean, it's only going to be the first 5 letters. So, and once you've used that card, it's out of the game. So you only have 7 chances or 7 clues from your cards. The ghost has 3 clues additional that I give 1 each time they try to make a guess. I can give 1 additional clue. And the catch on the ghost, though, they have no idea what clue I'm giving them. I'm just giving them a random clue. So it could be the who, the why, the where, the how, or the or weapon. They have no idea. I'm just giving them a clue and hoping that catches on. Because I want them to guess it. And if no one guesses it, the person that guessed the most wins. So Anthony ended up winning by default. So he guessed 3 of the 5 clues. Quentin got 2 of them. And if you tie, and this is how you do it, so Anthony guessed first. He got 3. Quentin guessed next. So you go in the next column. He guessed 2. And then Anthony guessed again. He still only got 3. And same thing with Quentin. So even if they both guessed 3, because Anthony guessed 3 first, he would have won no matter what. So only way Quentin could have won is if he had got 4 right at that point. So it was definitely a unique game, and I love the theme. So for me, we had a lot of fun playing. So what do you think, little guy?
I think it's really fun. This game, it's kind of difficult, especially if it's a very like the person who is trying to portray it is drawn these really, really vague, like at first, and also she was making really weird noises. Like she was like, and she was like a click.
What was the click about?
When his thing broke.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was still weird. I was like, at first I was like, a chicken? And I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, they asked me, how did it happen?
Yeah.
Why?
And so I had to make a sound of how it happened or why it happened, and that was the only thing I could think of. And it makes sense to them once they knew what the story was, but at the time they thought I was insane.
Okay, so what aspects of the game did you like? And
I thought that all of it was pretty cool, like how you utilized the cards, and I really liked this like little meter thing, although it was kind of confusing again because he kept changing the values of them. Like sometimes it would be faster, sometimes it would be slower, sometimes it would be less or more noisy, and I was like...
Well, there were aspects of different questions.
Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your favorite one?
My favorite one was probably the drawing, although she was really bad at the drawing.
It's not easy to draw with someone else's hand and not ever leave the piece of paper.
So what would you rate it?
I would give this game like a 9.7.
Wow.
9.7.
We've had a good streak of games lately.
Yeah.
It's been nice. We had a streak for a while where it was rough.
My turn or your turn?
Go ahead.
Okay, I really like this theme because we're more spiritual people, so I really like the aspect of the whole ghost thing. The design illustration, really cool. Also, the mechanics, wow. Some of the most unique mechanics I've ever experienced. My favorite part, and just for selfish reason, was Amanda trying to use these.
That rope is not easy.
It was so weird.
It
was
won't
so
say straight. It won't say straight, and it was just so hard.
It was so entertaining. That's the questions that you would ask for people that, they won't enjoy doing it. So they're like...
Mom, the most entertaining part is probably like the click and then her trying to like pretend she was falling. Like that whole thing was just like...
Yeah, I would have done it different, but hey.
We actually thought she was insane.
Yeah. But I really do like that it's not as simple as it looks. Like, it really is not. Like, the fallen aspect in the street, you wouldn't factor that into the injury that occurred.
Oh, yeah, so, I didn't even say that. On your card, it marks injury points. You mark them with these little blood markers. So... yeah, at the very beginning of the game, they have these clues.
Yeah, like
they're male or female, and where their injuries are.
Like, I thought it was a gun, and then I thought it was a spear, and then it took several questions to actually get just the weapon aspect of the game of what happened.
And another thing that threw us off is that, or threw me off at least, is that I don't know what he asked. I think it was just one of the clues, but it was like this on how good it was, and it was like...
yeah.
I was like...
That was one of my ghost clues.
Like, how could Fallen be so
that
good?
That was one of my random ghost clues.
Yeah, no, I was like...
I was trying to tell you it wasn't menacing. It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, that's why I factored the second time.
It was a quick death, and he was older. That's all I was trying to get across.
For me, I really enjoy this game. I think that this is one of the best cooperative games we played. I mean, it's simple, but yet it's extremely unique and fun. So I'm giving this like a 9.2. It's a really cool game. I think anyone who likes the whole detective or what's those murder mystery things, this is a little bit more simplistic, but this is like something that you could do with a family, kind of like a filler, and then you could... because this one's quicker than the other ones. The murder mystery ones take a while because you have to, go online, do searches, and do detective stuff. So this would be like kind of something that you would experience, if you just want a quick one and then still continue with the other one. But cool game. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I loved being the ghost, even though I was not successful. It was a lot of fun being the ghost. I don't know how I would do on the other side. I think being on where they're in their shoes, I wouldn't have been able to guess.
Quinn's gonna be
any of
ghost
it.
next time.
Anthony did pretty well, honestly. Like he got 3 of the clues.
Yeah, I didn't. Like when you said street, I thought you were wrong because like, how could the street be a weapon?
Yeah. So you gotta remember that it's not always what you think it is. You gotta think outside the box. And there's a whole stack. There's a big stack of stories.
And you could download.
Whole stack of stories.
Yeah.
And more online.
Yeah, some of them don't even have any like
wounds.
Yeah, because like I think some of them are like drowning in other ways.
Yeah, some have no wounds. So that would be even harder, I think. I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, I loved being the ghost. It was a lot of fun. And as a detective, though, I think I would do really well on the talking board part because I'm good at unscrambling games. But the other stuff, I would probably have a hard time guessing. And the hardest part for them, I could tell in the beginning, was coming up with a question to ask. It's like, you know nothing. All you know is this information right here. So it's like, what do you ask? So it was... That, and they got tripped up on the weapon right away, so that...
Yeah, and also another thing is I think the cards threw us off. I almost thought it was like a knight or something, because when she was pointing, so I almost thought it was that, but when she was pointing at the boss battle game with like the dragon, and with the cards she pulled, there was like a character with like a spear and kind of like a knight. So I thought maybe it was like a knight or something.
Yeah, you can arrange tarot cards, and you're limited to the 3 you draw. So I had to come up with a unique way of kind of depicting, this is what I gave them, of depicting a clue. And so it was, and I think that was one of my random ghost clues.
Yeah. When you did a random, it was very confusing.
So they had no idea what
the randoms are confusing. There's no question with it. So it's just something that...
It's something that I hope helps them.
So kind of like I picture it as you're just walking by and then some ghost just puts something in front of you.
Yeah. So I love this game. I would give this a 9. Definitely. I mean, we will definitely play this game again.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot. Like, Quinn wanted to play it. We would if it wasn't so late. He wants to play it again right now, but
yeah, school tomorrow.
I have work, his school, so we don't have time to play it again. I wish we could, because we had a lot of fun. So we'll have to break this one out again soon so Quentin can be the ghost, and that'll be a lot of fun. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to say? No. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this helped you to decide whether this is a game you want to add to your collection. I would suggest checking it out, even if you don't like... We do not care for cooperative games. We're not a cooperative game family, but there's occasionally some that we do like. This is one of those. But it's not a true cooperative game. So it's, it's a little different. And so it's so unique, and it's just fun. It kind of also reminds me of Cranium in a way, because Cranium has the different things you can do, but not at all like Cranium.
It reminds me of
trivia.
Here's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Clue, because it's pretty much like Clue. And it reminds me of Wool Camo with the whole story aspect.
Yeah, kind of.
And it also reminds me of Income, because that game's really unique.
Right.
And you're trying to scramble stuff.
Yeah, it's got attributes from all those games, and we enjoyed all those. So it's just very unique. So we will put the link in the description if you want to check this game out. I would highly suggest checking it out. Hopefully this helped you decide. Like I said, if you want to put it in your collection, please give us a like. Feel free to leave a comment. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already. Thank you again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.